Obviously, we were going through it at the end of last year, doing shows each week. Bears losing 10 games in a row. It got ugly, and a lot of fans' trust for this organization started to dissipate. Yeah. And since then, since the last time we talked, hire Ben Johnson, one of the top head coaching candidates, $13 million a year. That's a lot of money for a head coach. They built a coaching staff that seems to be pretty respectable. Eric Bieniemy, Antoine Randall, Al Harris, a whole bunch of other guys, Dan Rorschach on the offensive line. And then they go into free agency, add all these offensive linemen, 3 interior offensive linemen, and then some defensive linemen as well. So just curious where you're at. The vibe check now. Are the Bears starting to gain your trust
I'm
here?
glad you did it. You know, they're doing a decent job. They're doing a decent job. You know, I think that says a lot for any Bear fan after the last couple of years in the offseason. Right. You know, there's been over the last couple of off seasons, Bear fans have gone crazy over this move and that move, and oh my God, we're gonna be in it. We're this and that. I think when I say they're doing a decent job, I think that's fair for this organization.
So I should preface this, Zuma.
I agree.
And I should preface this. Lance is very hard on the Bears.
As he should.
He stays on their neck.
You know what it is?
Times.
It's love. That's what it is. It's a lot of love. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you do something really good, we'd be the first ones to pat you on your back.
Right.
But if you do something bad, we got to talk about you now.
Yeah.
We got to talk about you. And that's just what it is. That's just love.
Yeah.
And
it's a lot of love.
And you can't go out and destroy the offseason but not show up for the actual season. Right. We're here. Right. We're here to prepare for the season.
We're the 3-time offseason champs here. Back to back, baby.
Woo! Undefeated.
The rings are big.
Never.
The rings are big. The rings are big and bright. But I agree with you on that. They are doing a decent job. I mean, it's time to do the non-sexy picks.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, for a couple of years, we did the sexy picks.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But now it's time to build those trenches, because we know as football players and as fans, football's built through the trenches. So we got to get that right. And we can't see Caleb Williams on his back like that again.
You can't.
I mean, it was over, 60-something?
68
That is
times.
absolutely ridiculous. So we got to sew it up front and make sure that we get this thing going. And also, I like the fact that Ben Johnson is more of like a running coach. I feel like the running game is going to come back. And I like that. And I think that helps the offensive line too, because it gets the offensive line on the hunt. It gets a hat on a hat. It gets the nasty out. And that is Bears football. That's how I remember it. And we need to go back to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll always go back to Jason McKee at fullback, Thomas Jones leading the way.
Yes.
And you knew Bears lining up in the I formation, opening drive. They're going to run it 9 straight times.
They're going to run it.
We'll see if you can stop it.
Yes.
And I think the Saints in the NFC Championship, I think you guys literally ran the same play 9 straight times, essentially, and walked into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, you're missing out on one fine little detail there, right?
Yes, sir.
Defense always took the field first.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
because
sir.
we had to set the tone. We were going to get the ball back to our offense, whether it was going to be in the end zone or whether we were just going to get the ball back and have they be in good field position.
Right.
You know, but we wanted to set that tone, and then our offense, you can run the same play 9 times in a row.
Yeah.
Right.
Just don't give the ball. Just don't turn it over.
That's all we ask.
That's all we ask.
Don't give that ball over. Don't give it back to him. Like, possess that ball, and we're going to be okay.
Yeah, and obviously Bears fans just always, including myself, we get so obsessed with the offense and how we're going to get Caleb Williams to be this superstar quarterback. It's like the Cubs winning a World Series. It's like that ghost we're chasing. One day, the unicorn that we can finally have a quarterback. But defense wins championships. The Eagles just won by just making the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes' life miserable on that defensive line.
We could have had that guy, right? Jalen Carter?
We could have had him.
Could have had Jalen Carter. But now we're eyes forward, and you've got
That's a good one.
That's
a good one.
You just got censored.
And you bring in Dayo Odangbo from the Indianapolis Colts, kind of an unknown guy, right? And trying to find his way and make a name for himself in this league still. And he's still a younger guy. But then you bring in Grady Jarrett, a veteran defensive tackle at 34 years old.
I like that.
And Jerry, I mean, you came in at 1999, right? Well, we all remember when Ted Washington and Keith Traylor came in 2001 to the Bears.
The two plug players.
Right. 40, they're veteran players, right? But like talk about that kind of veteran presence that can come in when they still got some gas left in the tank.
I mean, well, first of all, I think the defense on the Chicago Bears is very young. So they do need that leadership right away. And I think that what they're doing in free agency is the right thing. They're bringing guys that have been around, that are veterans, that can help the young guys out. But yeah, like I said before, it all starts up front in those trenches. So I think that, with the cover 2 system that they're going to run and the zone dog pressures and things like that, you have to have an incredible nose guard /3 technique. That's where the base of the defense starts. Right. And if you have that, then you can start to build around that. Get the right linebacker in the right positions, and then obviously a free safety that's rangy or a strong safety that can come down and pop people. But it starts up front in those trenches. And I think that they're on their way to rebuilding that line, which is much needed, and everything else will fall into place.
Don't skip steps.
Right.
You know what I mean? I believe don't skip steps, and so when I say that is if you have an opportunity, your 3 tech's he's gonna create for everybody else. Your nose is going to create for your 3 technique. All right. Your edge rushers, because you're getting interior pressure, your edge rushers are going to hit home.
Yeah.
When you are at your peak defensively, you can have a back 7 in coverage and rush with just 4.
Right.
That's when and then you stop the run with the 7-man front, which means you're more powerful in your pass defense than you are in your run. But because you can play it both, you are the most effective defense. Those are the types that go to Super Bowls and win championships.
Right. Well, and as I said, the Eagles proved that last year, right?
Yes.
They got home with 4, and all them guys got paid checks that were cutting more than $6,000 a week.
Did you see what the Phillies? Yes.
A week?
Hey, we
Just
come a long way.
We come a long way.
Some of us had to pave the way.
That's right.
So the guys can get 45 tackles a year and get paid, 70 million.
Yes, I think I heard Bond giving a shout out to you for paving the way for him, getting that check in there. So yeah, it'll be interesting here as we go through it. I mean, a couple weeks from now, the Bears have an early OTA because you have a first-year head coach, so they're able to get in that building and as a team here a little faster than you're normally used to this offseason. So we're going to continue to do these shows throughout the offseason and talk about this leading up to the draft, what the Bears should do at the number 10 pick and beyond. Obviously, the second round, you got 2 picks there as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun here. We're going to continue to have fun with these guys, and we appreciate everyone continuing to tune in. CHGO Bears After Dark.
We all silly like the mayor.